How's everybody doing? My name is Myles Draughn. I'm 23 years old. I was born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts, but currently residing in North Massachusetts. Uh, what I do for a living, I work, as a social worker. That's what I do as a profession. But my life, I don't want to call it a hobby, but my life is music. What age? What age? I had a love for music since I was born, really. But the age, far as me actually becoming more serious and passionate when it comes to music, becoming an artist, it all initiated when I turned 9 years old. That's the age when I actually really put my all into music. Started writing lyrics every single day, every single class. Any opportunity I can, I will write music. That's when it all started. The age of 9. Music, it played a very major role in my life. It played a very big role in so many ways. To give you one example, in my household, my mom and two of my brothers, they are deaf, and I have another brother that's not deaf, and my father is not deaf. But overall in the household, it's very quiet. So growing into that as a kid, it was just a different atmosphere compared to a lot of other households. And so going to my example, as a kid, I went through tough predicaments, especially around that age of 9. I was bullied often in school, and what was difficult about it was that there wasn't really many people that I can really talk to like that. It's a little hard to just vent to anybody, and being in quiet household overall, it made me quiet. So it was more difficult for me to actually talk to someone about it, and so that kind of geared me into music. And what I mean by that is that I vent throughout my music. So, you know, every single lyric I wrote, every single song I write is me venting, basically. Music, like I said earlier, it's my life. It's also my therapist as well. Anything that's on my mind, I put it on a piece of paper. So that's how music plays a very major role in so many ways. It's a lot deeper than what people think. Did I come from a musical family? I did, actually. Surprisingly, due to my household situation, but I did. Actually, my older brother, he's deaf, but he doesn't let that get in his way. What I mean by that is he make beats himself. He has so many systems and software, and even though he's deaf, he knows how to make beats by going by vibration, and he will also ask me for feedback as well, making sure that he's on point. Not only my older brother, but my younger brother Marquise, he's hearing. He's also into music himself. He recently just started writing music this year, and so far so good. But prior to that, my dad, he's the one that actually kind of got me more into music by just playing music around me every time. Every time he plays music like when I was a kid, I always just listen to the lyrics, listen to the feel of the lyrics, listen to how the artists express themselves, and that kind of like also a sense of motivation when it came down to music. So yeah, overall, I did come from a musical family. Where do I find my motivation? I have many sources of motivation, to be honest, how many outlets, but my main source of motivation is my little brother, my youngest brother. His name is Maurice. He's not only deaf, but he also has autism. He's 19 years old, and so he's been in my life most of the time. Because I'm only 23, but yeah, that's my main source of motivation. He just keeps me going. He just reminds me every day, how to stay humble, and he just his presence in himself. He allows me to have a stronger work ethic in so many ways, whether if it's at work or when it comes to music. overall, that's my main source of motivation. That's my everything right there. How I'm able to manage? That's actually that's a good question. I don't know. I'm only kidding, but it's I can tell you that it gets very hectic at times, just due to the fact that, you know, number one, I have my job, which is a 9 to 5 job, Monday through Friday. But then I also have music, which involves me, no, which involves late nights, also involves me traveling, whether it's New Hampshire, New Jersey, Connecticut, New York, shows out here in Massachusetts. So it gets very hectic. How I'm able to manage is I just have the ability to adapt. I also make sure I have my schedule set weeks prior, just to make sure that everything is all set. I won't run into anything last minute. So what I do is in the morning, no, I make sure I get my hours in at work, 9 to 5, and then after 5 o'clock, that's when I go back into music lifestyle and just put everything into music until the next morning when I'd have to go to work. So that's how I'm able to manage. Is I balance I balance the two basically. Well, if I could, I would spend 24/7 at the studio, honestly. But fortunately, life doesn't allow that. But typically, I would probably spend I want to say that's a good question. Let me think, calculate it. Uh, so I will probably say about 3 or 4 hours a day in the studio, and then only because work, and then also because music also involves a lot of other things such as shows, other events. But other than that, I want to say, I spend that much time in the studio each day of the week. So, but again, if I could, 24/7, I would be in the studio. What I want people to get out of my music is, um, I just want people to know that music is used to express yourself. Music is used to show everyone what's going on, mentally, and what you've been through, in your lifetime, and what you're currently been through. Um, like I mentioned earlier, me being born into a quiet household, it just made me quiet, and so I'm not the first one to actually talk. So that's why music played a big impact in my life, because it allowed me to have an actual voice, if that makes sense. So I want people to get what I want people to get out of it is that music is used is a way to express yourself. Um, I have many songs that consist of many messages. I even made songs about bullying. I made songs about motivation. I made so many songs when it comes to different topics, and different messages. But as a whole, I want people to understand that, what I want people to get out of my music is that it's definitely a way to express yourself, whether if you going through good times or bad times, whether if you want to just vent anything out, anything that's on your mind. That's what I want people to understand when it comes down to not only my music but music in general. What gave me the idea to incorporate sign language? My mother actually. One day, she told me like she wishes that she can hear my music, and something like that really got to me. It actually got my mind thinking of so many ideas, and then eventually it came out to this, incorporating my sign language into my music. That way, she don't necessarily need to hear the music, but she can actually see the music, see the lyrics, and see what I'm expressing in my mind. Also, I know a lot of people in the deaf community, and so they kind of say the same thing, and they always have this um, curiosity of when it comes down to music. Obviously, they can't hear it. They see everyone is very engaged to it, and so they want to get a chance to actually be exposed to music themselves. They want to see the impact that music makes. So me knowing this information, that gave me the idea to incorporate sign language into my music. Where do I see myself in 10 years? I see myself as a very successful music artist. I see myself as that music artist that is responsible for the affiliation between the deaf community and music. I know a lot of people in the deaf community, and they'll always wonder how and why does music make a strong impact in a lot of people's lives. And so I want to be known as that one that shows them that. And I feel like my idea of incorporating sign language into music is a great solution for that. I also see myself as a teacher, one who teaches sign language to be Pacific. And I feel like my idea of incorporating sign language into music is a great tactic to have people learn sign language, because as we all know, lyrics are easy to remember. So me sign language, doing sign language during these lyrics, it's a great way of getting people to memorize not only the lyrics but the sign language for it. And so that's where I see myself for 10 years, as that rap artist, that music artist that came up with the idea of bringing the deaf community and music together. All right, facts. Junior year and sophomore year in high school, I struggled a lot with history class. It was just one of those classes that took a while for me to actually really understand. And so my way of getting able to understand history was I incorporated my music with history. And how I did that was I took my history book and I turned it into a song. I turned it into a couple songs, as a matter of fact. And like I said earlier, songs, lyrics are easy to remember. And so whenever it came down to me taking any test in history class, I will recite the song in my head. And since then, I've passed all tests when it came down to history. And so that's a fact, was I took my history book, turned it into a couple of songs, and that's how I was able to pass history class in high school. The one thing that I would change in my career is the timing of my idea of incorporating sign language to music with music. I just wish I did that so long ago. This idea is still considered new. Reason why I wish I did it, so long ago, years ago, is because I'm so eager to have the deaf community understand the impact that music makes to with people. And so I'm just so eager. I have this vision to be that person that caused the realization of music with the deaf community. And so I just wish I did this a long time ago, because at this point, that this idea, this realization would already be established. But like they say, timing is everything. But that's the only thing that I would really change, is just that I've been through mistakes throughout my career. But as we all know, experience only makes you stronger. Mistakes only makes you stronger. So that's the only thing that I would change in my career, is the timing of my idea.